All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this new episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, the first episode to the second half of Season 7, Episode 9, and it's called Follow Me. Alright, so they have now released the first two episodes for the back half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 on AMC Premiere as of today, which is April, I thought they were going to release earlier, but April 17th, 2022 here. So, we had the part 2 finale for The Walking Dead. What was that? A couple weeks ago on Premiere, a week ago on cable, I think, or so. Whatever it was. And so now we're getting into the second half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 with Follow Me. I have not seen Episode 10 just yet. We'll review them separately. I'll watch that maybe later today or tomorrow, whenever, and then we'll go ahead and do the review of that. So we basically get in this one a focus episode on Alicia and versus Arno, mostly. So we have Alicia versus Arno. Arno kind of chasing her down after the events of the first half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. And then we also have Strand in the background for this one with the tower, with eventually Morgan and Alicia and the others looking to likely attack the tower and attempt to take it. We also get to meet in this episode a new character named Paul, who is a mute, or what basically happened. And I like him. He's really cool because we find out what happened to him was that when the nuke went off at the end of Season 6 for Fear the Walking Dead, he must have been, him and his wife were, likely within a certain distance or certain range, to where when it went off, it took away his hearing. So he has been mute ever since the blast went off, which is something that I hadn't thought of, but I guess depending on your location, you could have something like that because the sound is so loud, could kind of blow out your hearing. I'm not sure if he can hear at all, or if maybe he's able to hear to some degree, but he seems to want to play music, and somehow he feels that even though he's mute. And but he is a fun character in this one, with kind of the continuation of these focus off episodes that we are seeing in Fear. I want to say like the last 2 seasons or so, where they're getting to focus each one like vignette style on particular characters. So he's kind of a character for this episode. And spoiler warning, he is killed off near the end of the episode in the exchange between Alicia and Arno. Arno is also bitten in this one as kind of the fights are going down. So basically we have her waking up. She has some different dreams. She has this infection going from the bite that she suffered in the first half of Season 7. Yeah, because it would have been after the blast went off, right around then, or it wasn't shown until Season 7, but we are to understand that at the end of Season 6, when the nuke goes off, it's sort of right around that time that she gets bitten and then has to cut her hand off in order to survive. And since that time, she's had the amputated hand thing going, which is kind of gruesome and brutal at the same time. But since then, she's had some kind of infection. It doesn't seem like the bite, obviously didn't kill her right away, but somehow here has kind of become like maybe more of a long-term illness. And you guys can definitely leave your comments below with your predictions on what's going to happen with her, whether the illness is going to kill her, whether or not it's something keeping temperature down and a fever, like Morgan tells Rick at the beginning of The Walking Dead that the bites burn you out, right? So, but this is different in that she would have already died had it have spread all the way through or something. So is it a bacterial thing where because so much of it was removed, it looks like it's basically healed, but somehow here she's very sick and doesn't look well. As part of that, she's getting these different dreams. So we kind of bring into the episode as well, too. the question of what's real as she meets the mute guy, which is fun because it kind of seems like that's a dream, and then you find out that it's not around the intro here and her knocking over the radio. He is an interesting character, somebody who he's mute and he's like a musician, so he's a mute musician at this point. So he for some reason decides to play music on stereo or whatever else, or with bagpipes himself or whatever, even though he is unable to hear it. So okay, fair enough. So we get a little bit of action here as Arno is going after Alicia, and he almost is able to basically feed her to a bunch of walkers. But Paul does save her and shoots Arno's accomplices down here, and Arno barely gets away, but is bitten in the process. So it feels kind of like with Arno that he's almost like a sub-villain for Alicia. Obviously, Strand is the big villain right now, but as a result of everything that happened with the blast, Arno has kind of become an opposite villain for her, where it looks like he's been bitten too now, so he's likely going to. I think he'll probably survive. They'll probably have to amputate his hand, but we do see this pretty cool crater scene at the end. I'm taking it that's where the warhead hit, I'm thinking, and all the walkers have kind of gone into it, and so bad enough that they're walkers to begin with, but if they get out, they also are likely irradiated as well. At the end of the episode, we get the kind of another hallucination dream, and it kind of changes this time, and you can see Morgan and a lot of the others there for her as she's kind of waking up, and then she eventually wakes up here, I take it, with Morgan, I'm thinking on the submarine. There is also the Dead in the Water episode that's kind of been posted. I went through it. It's actually pretty good. It's not bad, and it is cool that we get to see Teddy in it and such, because he is an awesome villain for Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know how many of you guys are interested in that. I don't know if I'll do a review for Dead in the Water, it's called, but if you have AMC Premiere, you can watch it there. And it is pretty good, actually. It's something I'd recommend checking it out if you're interested in Fear. If you're caught up on Fear and you like it, then check out Dead in the Water if you want to. Granted, you don't have any of the protagonists from Fear the Walking Dead in it. It's kind of a sort of a spin-off of Fear focused around Teddy and his group and kind of what happened with the submarine originally. So we have this girl who somehow Alicia sees here. Is she real? Is she not? Is she part of a hallucination from the fever and everything? We're really not sure. How does Morgan find her exactly? Does he find her at that spot and somehow she hallucinates about this girl? I guess we'll have to wait to see later on. But it seems like she kind of heals up a bit, and then she heads out afterwards, and them kind of prepping and getting ready to build Padre, which I guess she's thinking now doesn't exist. So they're going to have to build it. So likely they're going to want to take over the tower without likely destroying it all, like maybe someone like an Arno might end up doing here, and turn that into Padre afterwards. So in terms of score for the episode, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's fun. It's, again, with Fear, they're sectioning off the characters, so like each episode you're typically getting like a focus on one character in particular, and then they're bringing in some new characters to go with it typically, and then maybe at the end of the episode you have Morgan or somebody come in just to kind of finish it up. But I did like the mute guy. He was really cool and everything, especially loved the bagpipes, kind of awesome. And there's some okay fight scenes, like when he kind of saves her and starts shooting them and whatnot, and he kind of goes out sort of a hero at the end, in that he sacrifices himself in order for her to get away from Arno near the end here. Arno is a villain. I just think he's like mediocre. He's okay. I wouldn't expect to see him survive too long here. He kind of just feels like, to me, he's sort of thrown in the mix with everything that's happening with Strand and the tower, and kind of like a mini villain as like a third entity here, because he's not affiliated with Strand the tower. He's not affiliated with Alicia and Morgan, so he's kind of in the middle there as a secondary or a third kind of threat in and around. and I expect to see him likely killed off probably in the next few episodes. I'd be surprised if he survived all the way up until season 7. Strand, I think, will, but I think like the final battle of this season will likely be with Strand. Arno might be in there to cause some chaos as well, but I don't see him as the big bad compared to Strand right now for in this season. So I thought that Follow Me was a decent enough start to the second half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. I am excited to see the next episode as well, too. It does look decent here with Charlie and the others. Excited to see Madison at some point. We got to remember they're bringing her back at some point here, so that should be really good. And hope that people still be interested in Fear the Walking Dead. With the original Walking Dead TV series ending, I'm just not sure, how people are going to, if they're still going to be interested in Fear or not, if they still like it. So please leave your comments below and let me know how you guys are feeling about Fear right now, with the original Walking Dead TV series getting closer to wrapping up here with its final part, part 3 coming up in the fall. Are you still interested in seeing, new episodes of Fear the Walking Dead? Are you still going to watch it? It's been renewed for season 8. So will you watch season 8 possibly after The Walking Dead ends? Or are you interested for Tales of the Walking Dead? Just what are you guys thinking with this? And is it something where, like, because the original Walking Dead series is ending, you're appreciative that we have Fear because you're going to want to, kind of watch that? Or is it the opposite and you're feeling like because the original Walking Dead TV series is ending, you're not as interested in Fear as you once were? So even with Madison returning, for example. Comments below, and that's it for this review, guys. A fun episode. I did enjoy it and everything. Wasn't anything too crazy or too amazing for like a mid-season premiere, I guess technically it is. But they're giving you 2 episodes at the same time, and I thought it was really fun. At least we get to see Alicia in this one, because in the first half of season 7, there was a good number of episodes, if I remember correctly, where she wasn't in them until like the mid-season finale, the last few episodes of season 7, first half. So comments below, and that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace there, guys. See you soon.